Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. I would say, deserved victory, to be honest, especially off the back of the first half. It kind of came to a point of, United taking advantage of an advantage in a sense, with Robert Sanchez getting sent off quite early on, about 5 minutes. I caught it at 10, but apparently it was at 5 minutes when he got sent off after a flick on from Šeško got Mbeumo through. One-on-one, basically, ball went over the top. He run onto the loose ball, flicked the ball past the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper took him out, given us a foul and the red card. From there, United took full control. Obviously, the goal from Fernandes, questionable offside, but obviously the VAR cleared it and it was seen as onside. The second from Casemiro, very good worked move, kind of ball over the top, back across, and then Casemiro heading it in from close range. I thought that the side themselves were quite controlled. They allowed Chelsea minimal possession in the first half, especially with the formation. Going down to the 10 men. And I thought they were quite good for the overall. It did get dicey near the end. I felt they were comfortable second half after Casemiro sending off just before half time. I think it's questionable. I think the first one, I would say, if that's a booking, yeah. I think if it's the other way round, to be honest, I don't think the second one is a booking. I think it's barely a foul. I think if you do a kind of half and half, like I said, if you switch them, I would say that the first one is your last warning, and then the second one is a booking. Now, they did it the other way around. The first one was the booking, and the second one's a sending off. I just don't think it was. It was a foul. I will admit that, but I don't think it was a bookable offence, to be fair. But it is what it is, really. I think Casemiro has the right to be annoyed at that one. But yeah, I think they were very controlled second half with how they played. The last 10 minutes or so, once Chalobah scored, it did get a bit dicey. It was a worry in a sense, but then once we got into the final kind of added time kind of area, control seemed to kind of come back to United, and they did seem as though they weren't going to lose the game, especially once they had everything go their way in the kind of back end of the match. So yeah, it's 3 points. Notables for me, I think the defense were quite solid. I thought Maguire had a good game. I thought De Ligt had a great game. Again, Bayern didn't have to do a hell of a lot. Who in the team did I think played the best? I thought Fernandes was quite good, getting himself about. And Mbeumo looks like a great signing. I don't think he's had a game where he hasn't had a bad game. So yeah, I think we're in a good spot there for that one. But yeah, I couldn't name a bad game from anybody realistically that I can think of. No, wasn't really much at all. Good game. I don't have much to say really. Next week we play Brentford, early game on a Saturday, so we'll see how that pans out. And I think that the winners definitely helped us, because if we'd have lost and Aston Villa had got anything, I think we may have seen us in the bottom 3, which we don't want. But it turned out all right for us. We are back in mid-table. Hopefully this can be the start of a bit of a progression. I don't think, apart from the City game last week where we were just awful, and the Grimsby game, which we were really awful, I don't think we've played too badly. I think we've had good moments and then bad moments. Today, I don't think we've really had a bad moment. It was a bit dicey the last 10 minutes, but I wouldn't say that it was anything too bad in a sense. I would say we were fairly in control of everything, and it was good to see. To be fair, even when it went to 10-10, it didn't really affect the way the United played. They just took Šeško off, which I do feel a bit bad for Šeško because he's not really getting much. I mean, today he didn't get a hell of a lot coming through to him in terms of service, and obviously got hooked at half time to Agate coming on. So it is what it is with Šeško. I think he's going to take time. As the Newcastle striker said last week, I think it was, that the Premier League is a whole different game to Bundesliga. He was cramping up after 15 minutes, so it says a lot about the difference there. So maybe that's the same for Šeško. Obviously, he's a United player, so he won't get the same kind of time in that sense. But we'll see what happens with everything and how we go. I do think that next two games, if we can get wins out of both of them, we'll be looking good. But it's week on week right now, and I'm not putting anything in terms of a yes, we are brilliant. I don't think we're absolutely shocking, apart from the games where I say we are, because we've shown it. I think, like I said, the City game and the Grimsby game were really bad performances. But other than that, we haven't been too bad. It's just getting a consistent 90 minutes, I think. And I think this was the most consistent we've been over a 90-minute period. I think we were solid for 80. We were poor for about 5 to 10. And then we saw out the rest of the game and added time. So that's how I would see it today. But what do you guys think? If you give me your thoughts on the game, what did you think of the game? What do you think of my comments on it? If you liked the video, guys, please leave a like. If you haven't, leave a dislike and subscribe if you are new, guys. Till next time, take care.